This is fun.
You ready yet?
What?
Well, I'm waiting for you. We're rolling.
Good.
My goodness.
Good.
World of your own.
Cool. What are we doing? James.
I'm not feeding you lines, George. It's your 5 favourite things that you've stolen from other producers.
I don't steal.
We all steal, George.
All right. Today we're doing a thing because I'm halfway through mixing and I've been asked to talk to you about what I did steal from other people and made it into my mix. Yep.
People that are much better than you.
People are much better than me.
Yes.
In general, people are better than me. No, in all seriousness, what we're going to look at is 5 things that I have nicked from sources over the internet that made it into the way that I mix today. And we're going to have a butchers at that whilst I walk through the song, what I did show last time.
Good England.
Happy?
Yeah, happy. Go.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Number 1. So however many years ago it was, I think it's like 5, maybe 6 years ago, I stumbled across a video by Mr. Eric Valentine, and he was walking through his like drum bus routine, and the thing that caught my eye was in this video, and it looked like this. It had a pair of distressors, and they literally looked like they were set to stun. Now, the camera quality was pretty potato, like it's just a bunch of pixels, so I had to figure it out by, you know, what's that CSI thing? Enhance.
Which works.
Anyway, and the settings that I ended up at looked something like this. Essentially, it's the opto settings on distressors with all the detector buttons set to go and in. So if I show you what that sounds like, it's this. Like, it's slammed. Without it, nothing, right? Boring. However, over time, I decided, I need a bit more brightness and a bit more saturation, so it looks a bit more like this. Which, if anything, that's just even more insane. So the comparison between the two, where I started off with in Mix World was... which is cool. You can kind of hear the drums poking up above everything, but the reason for the extra brightness and saturation is to bring everything up again. And it's to just get it to push forwards and be a bit more snappy and a bit more slappy. The first record I used this on was that Loathe one. I let this in and it took everything. And it took everything, yeah. So that was the first example of me using that, where I was like going, cool, I'm just going to pretend that I'm Eric Valentine and do a record. And it went really, really well. So I did it again and kept on doing it, and it's not let me down since. So if you want to steal from me and then by proxy Eric, take these settings and use them, go do the thing and have drums.
Right, that's 2 minutes, so move on. What's the second thing?
Number 2, we're doing drums again.
George, we
Yes.
don't do that hand gesture.
We're doing drums again, and this time I took it from someone called Taylor Larson. And this was actually, it was whilst I was on this learning journey, like expedition thing, and I discovered a platform called URM Academy, and he had done a course with Jason Richardson, and he showed on kick drum using this trick, the virtual channel thing doohickey here. And what he was doing was essentially smushing the living snot out of the kick drum with distortion until it held in place.
There's a theme here.
Yes, smushy. Smush. And I was stunned because it was the first time that I got shown that distortion can be used to hold something in place instead of compression or limiters or whatever. And I'm going to turn off the API because that's my thing. And this is what the channel is doing. Super consistent, and without it, it becomes a little bit more plasticky hard. It's not super intense on this song because everything is already fairly well controlled and there's a sample, so, you know, nuance and all that. But in context, if we... yeah, cool. That's on and off. it sinks down a little bit. And with the EQ in place, I use this to tailor the way that the attack is being distorted. Oh yeah, Taylor. Right, so, and I take away a bunch of 3K, so then it means that everything else is getting compressed sooner than 3K. It brings back the mid-range information, pushes that all forward and makes it a bit more round and a bit more happy days. So steal it because I stole it, so now you can steal it, and that makes everything okay. Cool.
Who's the third person that's better than you, George?
So we're on drums again.
Oh my goodness. Are these all drums?
No.
Okay. Are you lying?
Yes. And this one is from Get Good.
Good.
Yeah, you're good.
so
good. I stole this from him because it was useful. And what we're looking at here is a multi-band compressor, but instead of compressing, it's expanding. And the reason for this is not all gates get all the bleed. And with the way that I like to gate, it tends to leave bleed in, and then I need to control it a way that is not gating, just another way. And I'm going to show you an example of what I use it for here, because we're going to hear some bleed and cymbal stuff.
So professional.
Oh, well, you've just thrown me in the deep end on this. So there's just this splash stuff coming in after the kick drums around the snare. And what this setting does is it just completely nerfs it. And let me find a faster section so you can see what's going on here. You know what? I'm going to take off the room samples so you can hear what's actually happening around the snare. Okay. This is easier to hear. There's a lot of more like psh, psh, psh. This.
That's a massive difference.
Yeah, huge difference. All gone. Happy days. Not going to hear that in the mix. That's how I solved that problem, and that was Adam's fault that I know how to do that now. So, ta-da! Gating is not solved in one stage. It's solved in multiple stages, fixing tiny little bits of the signal as we go along. You don't have to do it all in one go. That's what I use that for. Ta-da! Drums. Good. Wicked.
4. If this is another drum one, we're finishing here.
Okay, so it's not drums, it's automation.
Oh, fun.
No, it is really cool.
Why have you left this to the end?
It's really cool. I took this from a chap called Will Putney. Really successful producer.
You might have heard of him.
Much better than me. And what he does, or what I've seen, is he puts blocks of empty region data on his buses. And he uses this to create automation points that he can drag up and down. Now that's really cool, but in Logic, we can use this idea one step further, and this is how I tweaked it. Instead of it being on the track, I have the automation data in the region. So I can go through and create weird automation things like this. But if I'm not so sure that that's the right way of doing it, I can essentially reset everything and have different automations in different track alternatives, and then flick between them to see what my preference is whilst mixing. Now, these examples are pretty exaggerated. I'm just resetting here. But my point being is that, let's say I want to automate the room samples that I'm working on. Well, if I switch the automation to region, I can drag a section from anywhere else and start automating in and around that area that I want to affect. And what is really cool is that the automation snaps in and out of where it was before and after the region. So you have this opportunity to try different things very, very quickly without having to then redraw in automation. You can just drag things around and go, do I like it at this volume? No, delete. Other thing, do I like it at this volume? The other thing that's fucking wicked.
Did you just swear?
Yeah.
Swearing? Is this happening?
The other thing that's interesting is that now with the update of Logic, we can grab one of these regions and just bounce in place and print the bus information that is present there and just commit all that information down and start messing around with that.
Can you do that with Outboard as well?
Yes, now that's possible. It wasn't before, but now you can have Outboard in place and it then prints that in real time, which makes printing buses and stuff stems for live really, really simple because you're not having to do exports. You can just bounce in place.
Sick.
Did it.
4 things. No, 5. We're doing 5. So you need to think of another one. Come on.
Okay. Other cool thing is referencing. So I use...
Referencing is not cool.
Referencing is cool.
Prove it. Go.
Okay. So I use these 2 plugins for referencing, and they largely do the same thing, but in different ways. And I use them both in conjunction with each other. And this is why. This is called Metric AB. And this is what I use for referencing songs against each other. So I can hold the things that I reference on a daily basis in this playlist, and then also gain and match what I'm mixing against these and see how I'm doing. But I have to go in and out of the plugin in order to do this and change tracks. So that becomes a bit tricky. So then when that is happening and it does get tricky, I switch to Listen Hub because I can run an app on my phone and press buttons and it changes things on the fly, and then I can reference as I go. I would show you how I would reference against the songs in that playlist, but I would get copyright strikes. So essentially, listening to the sides and listening to mono is the most insane thing that I've been able to do with other people's mixes, because it shows you how they're EQing certain elements in isolation, but it also allows me the opportunity to hear how they're compressing in different stages, rather than just listening to something as a full picture. I can break it down into little windows, and I don't know who I nicked that idea from. I guess kind of everyone references, so I stole it from everyone that did it. So you should do that too. Go steal, do things. Cool.
That's it.
Done.
Done.
Video.
Yeah. Okay. George, they're still here. Have we forgotten anything?
Thank you, Sonox, for supporting the channel so far and doing these videos with me. That's been really cool. Forgot about that. Thank you. Andy, Tim, Giles, you're very beautiful people. The template that we're looking at, the routing template that we've got here, has been given away in the previous video. What I have done is with some of the settings that I've shown, some of the influences that I've taken, so with the drum bus and kick drum thing and all that sort of stuff, where I can translate it over to Sonox plugins and presets, I have made those presets and they are now in the updated version of that template. So if you haven't got a copy of it, go grab it.
If it's so generous.
It's just a thing to do, innit?
Yeah.
So that's what's going on. That's the cool thing. If you don't have it, go get it. If you don't have the drum samples, which are, in this mix so far, and they've been shown in the last 2 videos, go and get those. Those are free. I think it's just like an email thing. Yes.
It's just then cats, isn't it?
I have to do cats again.
Well, you don't have to. It's kind of expected.
Cats. How long have we been recording for? How long is this?
Too long.
How long is this video? It says 15 minutes here, but apparently I lost connection a little while ago, so you're going to have to tell me. 15 minutes?
Yeah, 15 minutes, 22 seconds.
There's absolutely no way they will accept that this is a 15-minute video done in this format.
It's a 15-minute video. End it now.